Alright, what is up guys, this is Alex or Rads or Radzy, and I definitely need to get a new intro, but that's not really the point. The point is, this is how to make a montage, episode 5. I'm going to be doing 2 effects that I've used in my reintroducing to Obey video. If you've not seen it, there's an annotation on screen right now, or you can check in the video description. Please go check it out, watch the whole 4-minute video. It's probably my best work, at least I think. I'm really happy with the outcome. It's got currently over 200 likes, so if you could make that, you know, an extra +1 like, that would be absolutely awesome, guys. And just let me know what you think, because, you know, I happen to think it's pretty goddamn awesome. But anyway, yeah, it's on screen now, but definitely go and watch it. And yeah, anyway, let's start the tutorial. Alright, so the first effect I'm going to show you guys is the flares that I used in the video. Hopefully you checked it out and you were happy with it. I definitely was. But anyway, the first effect, if you did watch it, is this 6 on screen. I've lit up the feed, and there's probably different tutorials on this as well, but I'm just covering a few effects that I use in my montages or videos, hence, you know, how to make a montage. So yeah, that's the first effect, and the second effect will be this one over here, I think. Yep, so I'll just do that quickly. It's the color change on your gun. Now, I can't stress this enough, it won't work with every, it won't work with every clip, this effect. Just simply, I mean, it will if you put the time into it, but it won't if you just simply want to quickly do it. I'll get into that, what I mean by that in a bit, but it's just, you know, the color change. It's pretty awesome. But first of all, I'll do the, I shall do the flare one. So just drag your clip in and drag it onto the new composition button, and you know, do anything you must. This is just a random quad feed I got. I'm going to be doing both the effects on this clip. Sorry, I couldn't think of what I was going to say there. But anyway, I'm going to twixter it just about here, just because it's just the easiest thing to do. So just split the layer. If you don't know how to twixter, I'll quickly cover it now. Sorry to the guys that do know how to twixter. So just cut your clip and then quickly go to Effect, Revision Plugins, Twixter Pro. Sorry to the guys that have to hear this and they already know how to twixter. Change your frame rate to the frame rate of your footage. So just click on the footage in the project section. It will say 59 point something. Mine is 813 for some weird reason. So 51.813. And once you've done that, just keyframe on the speed and then keyframe it when you want to stop. So I'm just going to change it 1.2 or something. And there you have your twixted footage. It's nice and slow. It's pretty bad twixted, to be fair, but I rushed it, so it doesn't matter for this tutorial, to be fair. But I shall keep it as it is, just because I can't bother to change it. Anyway, the effect for this one is the flares. So what you want to do is straight away go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. Now, you need Video Copilot's Optical Flares for this. If you just Google how to get Optical Flares, I'm pretty sure you can find a way to get it if you're not willing to pay. So once you've added the adjustment layer, go to Video Effect, Video Copilot Optical Flares, and bring up this this thing here. Just go to Render Mode over Original, and then you'll see the flare with your footage. So what I like to do just quickly is drag this center position, the position XY one, just over the first, you know, the top gun. And then click Options up here. It'll bring up the Optical Flares interface. It's a pretty cool interface, but I've noticed it crashes now and again, which is a bit gay, but doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is just click Clear All. It'll clear everything. Then go to Lens Objects, add a glow. It's just a glow, and add a streak. Now I usually change this streak if you go to the like editor bit. Your interface might be a bit different to mine. But anyway, I'm going to change the stretch so it's more, so it's not so long. That's what she said. Yeah, so once you've, you know, made the streak not so long, so it's more close to the object, then just quickly change the glow scale down a little bit. I'm going to put mine to 16, and my stretch was 22.5 and 68%. So just click OK once you're done. At the moment, I'm not really liking the way this is looking, because personally I think the glow needs to be squashed as well. So just grab the stretch and grab the first one, this one here, and just make it a bit more squished in. I just think it looks a bit better. And you can change your color by just going to global color, and you know, you can change the color whatever you want. I'm gonna put it to an orange ready type thing. And in case you wanted to add a lens texture, right here it says lens texture, you can click on this where it says none, and you can add one of these little effects. I tend not to with this effect, but you can obviously change it to anything you like. I'm just going to leave it on none for now. Right, so as you can see, when you come out the interface, you have this flare now above our feed. Now, when you add a color correction, or usually when I add my color corrections, it brings out a diffusion onto, you know, any light objects that is, you know, underneath the color correction layer. So for this, if I was to add a color correction now for it quickly, it would, you know, this flare would be extremely much bigger. It would appear bigger than what it is. So what I'm going to do is just put the scale down to about 50 or 45. Now that's like a decent size. So I'm also now just going to drag the flare itself, you know, to about the center of the barrel image. You know, that looks pretty cool. It's the stretch layer, you know, like the flare going across like this. You know, as long as it's in line with the barrel or the gun itself, that's a pretty cool way to line it up. You know, you're not going to get it perfect, but I don't think anyone's going to notice if it's slightly out. So anyway, I'm just going to click on the stopwatch on the position X and Y and the brightness. Now I'm going to hit U on my adjustment layer, and it will come up with the keyframes that we've made. So at the moment, I'm going to put my brightness down to 0. And I'm going to move forward roughly, I don't know, 5 frames. Let's go 5 frames. And I'm now going to drag this little X and Y point here. If you haven't got it, then just click on the effect itself and then drag it up. And then I'm going to change the brightness back up to 100. So what we have at the moment is just it fading in. So just like that. It's, you know, it's just a start right now. You don't have to do this with every flare. I'll get to that in a minute. But all you need to really do, because it's twisted, you don't really need to change the position a lot. So from this point, you know, just go along 5 more frames and then change the position up until when it's twisted. Now when it's twisted, you pretty much only need to add 1 more keyframe. So, I mean, if your twist is not extremely distorted like mine, it's pretty easy to do. Keep the brightness on 100, and when you do hit to the point where it's twisted, just change it 1 more time like that. And then move right to the end of the footage and move it up a tiny bit more. So what we have now, we just quickly RAM preview this. I'll turn off the sound so it doesn't bother us. So what we have pretty much is that. I mean, it's pretty awesome. With a color correction, it does look a lot better. But that's only 1 flare, guys. I'll show you how to do more. So instead of duplicating this, you know, adjustment layer and doing the whole thing all over again, because that's just going to take way too long. What we're going to do is just zoom back into our feed. Oh, I did that wrong. Zoom back into your feed, and there we go. And click on the Optical Flares effect itself up here and hit Control D if you're on Windows or Command D if you're on Mac. Now that would duplicate the effect itself, and it will make a second Optical Flares. So click UU on your adjustment layer and it will show your new keyframes. They're pretty much the same keyframes, but they are the duplicated ones of what you just had a minute ago. So zoom into your feed if you're not already, and all you pretty much need to do is just change the position for every keyframe. There's only 5 keyframes in which I've made, so that's not a lot of work. So all you need to do is change the first one, click on this little arrow to go to the second, bring that down here, do exactly the same, and then exactly the same again. Mine's probably not going to be perfect. Yours is probably going to be a lot better than mine, guys, but I'm just trying to rush this. So, and then go to the last one, and there we go. So now what we have is 2. So if we quickly RAM preview that, you get the gist of it, guys. That's pretty much all you need to do is just change those certain amount of keyframes, and you'll have these optical flares. So before you carry on and do every single flare, and before you pause the video and do that, I just want to add that you might want to click on flicker and change the speed and the amount and random seed up a little bit. So I usually change my seed to about 60 to 80 or something. The amount, it just varies of how much amount of of it to flicker at you. If you want like a massive flicker, then change it obviously up to 100, and it'll be like so you can put the random seed up, and it'll just be a bit more random. So if you do that with both the layers before duplicating it, you could just pretty much do it however you want. And you'll just get this like flicker motion in your flares. Now if you do the amount too much, it might flicker, like it might go down a little bit too much, and it might almost seem like it's a bit like strobe lights or something. You might cause some epileptic fit. Sorry to those who are epileptic. I don't even. Anyway, let's just get off that subject. But anyway, you get the gist of it, guys. That's pretty much all you need to do. Just carry on doing, duplicating and then just changing the position, and you're all good to go. So that's pretty much that effect. I'm not going to continue because, as I say, you guys get it. from there on. So I'm just going to delete this layer, and you know, if you're only looking for that effect, then goodbye. And now I'm going to do the color change camo. So as you can see, I've twisted it in the second shot as I go in for the second shot, just simply because, you know, it's probably the perfect way to do it. If I get rid of the twixter quickly, as you'll see, there's going to be some red on my screen in a minute. It looked the best you know, time to do it. So anyway, we're just going to quickly do this effect. So the first thing you want to do again is, wow, what is happening? There we go. So what you want to do is quickly add a new adjustment layer. It always starts off with an adjustment layer, I swear. And then you want, you can either search in this effect in presets little bit, you know, you can search up effects in here, you can search and change the color, or you can just go straight up, effect, color correction, change the color. So what you want to do first of all, wherever you want to, you know, start the kind of effect of you changing the color of the camo, you want to keyframe from and to on the stopwatches. Now click U on your adjustment layer and you'll see these two white bars, and you want to move forward you know, a few frames, and then click on this little pen tool on the from. Now whatever camo you want to, you know, key out, so I obviously want to get rid of this blue right here. You know, there's not a lot of blue in this environment, so if I was to key out the blue, you wouldn't see any difference in the environment. So if this map was blue, say for example it was, I don't even know any blue maps, say this whole cave right here was blue, if I was to then click on the keying out of this blue right here, it would key out pretty much the whole room and it would look disgusting. So you know, this effect right now it's not going to work for everyone and for every clip, just simply because, you know, it depends what environment you have. If you wanted to do it desperately, you could mask out the gun. That would take so long, and then obviously add the effect to that layer, but it's just such a you know, it would take you absolutely hours to do that, so it's probably not worth it. But anyway, if you've got a decent enough clip to try this out on, I definitely advise you to do it. I'll leave this clip in the description if you want to give it a go. But anyway, so yeah, once you've done that and you've changed it to, I think by default, I guess it would just go to a red color. I'm not really sure, but it's gone to this red color right now. So at the same keyframe as which I just did, keyed out the blue, I'm going to click on the 2 on the color sign. I'm going to change it to any color I pretty much want. So I'm obviously not going to change it to a blue, but I could change it to a purple, let's say. And pretty much what you're going to get is it going straight away within one frame, going from a blue to a purple. Now that, I don't think you can change that, but it's not going to matter because everything's going to be, you know, you might put effects on top of this. So anyway, once you've done that, you might move another 5, maybe 10 keyframes onwards. I've just gone a random amount, and then all you need to do is change the color again the same way which you just did before. So if I wanted to then change it to I don't know, a yellow. You don't see any yellow camos, I don't think. It will then, from here on out, it will fade into the different color that you want. So it's actually going to go to various different colors before it gets to the one that you actually want it to. But for the first keyframe, it doesn't. It just goes straight to it, and I'm not sure how to fix that. You know, hopefully just, you know, it's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. But anyway, it's then going to yellow, and I might want to move another 7 keyframes onwards or something. I'm not really keeping count. Then just change it to another color. Let's go with a light blue. Let's try and match this color. Yeah, let's go with that. And then let's go another few frames forward. Just try and keep it even to make this end result look actually not that bad. Let's go to a green camo. You don't see green. Let's move a bit more forward. Let's change it. I don't think you can change it to a white. I think by default it would just go to this red color, and black, yeah, the same thing. It will pretty much just put it to that color. We could go to a dark green. We could go to let's go to an orange, even though technically there is already an orange camo on this game, but it doesn't matter. And then one more time, let's just finish it off with a pink, and then we'll go back to the original one, which is this one right here. So we're just going to copy that keyframe and then paste it there. And it didn't go back to the original. I don't know why. Hang on a sec. Oh, I think this is why. So you just want to copy this keyframe here on from, and you want to paste it right there on your last one, and then move a few frames forward, and then copy this one. And it pretty much will go back to its color, original color. So if we pretty much give that a quick round preview.
I might have done the frames way too close to each other, and it might be a really fast transition between the colours, but you kind of get the, you know, the gist of things. It's a pretty sweet effect. All I've really got to say about it at this frame, because yeah, you know, if you're editing a video, you notice things that other people, when they're watching the video, probably won't. So the thing that I've noticed, if you guys haven't already, is this thing right here. I actually pointed at my screen right then. This thing right here, the Task Force 141 emblem. When I'm changing the colour of the camo, it's changing with it. Now, it's not going to matter that much because you're probably going to have, you know, like a black border, for example. You know, you might have it over that. If you're doing like a one clip edit, it might be huge. But I like to tend to keep it like that, yeah. But anyway, you might have that above it, so it's probably not very noticeable to the people that are watching it, but just be careful of it, because all of a sudden you might see that a wall is changing colour, and, you know, I don't think people are going to want to see walls changing colour, unless it looks awesome. But I'm also noticing his helmet is changing a little bit, I think, but as I say, it's with the colour correction on top, you're not going to really notice that. You're just going to be focused on the gun, but you can see his helmet is changing a bit of colour, as well as this wall, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that is it. You could, if you wanted, highlighted all the keyframes and right click, go to keyframe assistant, and you could make it an easy ease. That pretty much makes it a smoother kind of transition between the two. Whoa, why did it all just go purple at the end? That's not weird. I don't even know why it's done that, guys. But for some reason, so somehow, oh, never mind. It's because the first keyframe here, I forgot to paste this keyframe there. Then it goes back to its normal one. Sorry about that, guys. I wondered why his blood was purple. Okay, so pretty much this is what it looks like with a few effects on top of it, with the color correction as well I quickly added. As you can tell, as I said, you know, there's a few things that, as I mentioned before, the Task Force 141 emblem change, and you don't really notice it with the color correction on top, so I won't worry too much about little things like that. But as I say, do be careful in case like the sky disappears or something, or changes to red. But you know, you kind of get the idea, guys. As I said it again, it will not work with every single clip unless you mask out the gun, but you know, that takes a very long time, so it's probably not worth doing. And this way it definitely is worth doing if your environment is set for it. So that is pretty much episode 5, guys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a like rating and a comment. You know, I do these things for you guys, and I don't do them frequent enough, but I will try and push myself to do some more. I do need ideas as to, you know, what kind of effects to do, because otherwise it's just going to be me showing you the journey I take when I make a video. I mean, that was what it was intended for in the beginning, but I wanted to kind of incorporate effects along the way with it, because, you know, just me showing how I edit a video, you know, I'm not going to really be teaching. I'm just going to probably end up me doing it and recording myself doing it. You know, if I do both at the same time, that's pretty awesome. So I don't think many people do that. And yeah, so if you did enjoy the video, give it a like rating and let me know what you want to see next in episode 6. Goodbye. From the